Yeah, so once again, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to PPS Theory Sessions. Look, we have came in a long way. I can say that we are done with our first 4 units here, and we do have total 10 units. Major part and the basic part, which is more important, I can say that we have seen it till now. The points or the topics that we are going to learn later, starting from unit number 5, can be told as a advanced topic in C. Remember, in C I'm saying, but still it is basic for any programming language. You go for other than C language, you go for Java, JavaScript, PHP, anywhere you go, you're gonna have these points: functions, recursions, and then file management and all. Well, pointers depends on whether operating system, whether language supports pointers or not, and so on. But we do have pointers in C and C++ and so on. We create some structure, and structure will create your base to understand defining data structures and so, okay? And then there will be dynamic memory allocation and so. But well, we will look at those points one by one units later on. But I just want to revise that what we have gone through today till now. So we started with the introduction part where we have understood how computer works, what are the different peripheral devices, what is software, what is hardware, what are the types of languages, and all those things, right? And we have also understood what is algorithm and flowchart. Now, that was the very basic understanding of computer and languages, programming languages. And then we started learning one programming language that I can say the first programming language for you all is the C. And we started with fundamentals of C, where we learned the structure of a C program, syntax, what are the header files, data types, type conversion, expressions, and all, and the basic IO functions. So printf, scanf, getChar, putChar, and getS, putS, right? So once we know how to write a program and how to get and print values, then we can go and write some code to perform a task. So then we had gone for the third unit, and we have seen the control structures, how we can take a decision based on some conditions, and how we can iterate a particular task if you want to do it for more than one time. So there we had seen decision-making statements. So that is if else, else if later, nested if else, and switch case. We had gone for looping statements. So that is for loop, while loop, do while loop. Nesting of all these controls, right? Then break and continue statement and a go to statement. And once we know how to do this decision and looping statements, then we had gone for array. If we want to store multiple values and we want to refer those multiple values with single identifier, then we can create an array. So we learned what is array, 1, 2, and even multidimensional array, how we can declare those arrays, initialize those arrays, and how we can use those arrays, right? So that was the part of array. And then when you go for character array, we can call it a string. When you have multiple characters, you can create a word or you can create a statement which is going to be called string. So we had seen strings and how strings are stored. Now up to this part, up to this string and string storage, this is your mid-1 syllabus. Let me declare this one more time, and I have posted this PDF file in your WhatsApp group also. So this Up to this, string storage is your mid one syllabus, and your mid one is going to be started in next week. All the best for everyone. Now, even we have gone further after this string storage and understanding strings. In previous lecture, we had seen built-in string functions also. So those are the strlen to find out a length, strcpy to copy, strcmp to compare, cat to concat or append, and so on. Right? So there are multiple inbuilt functions defined in string.h header file, string header file. We need to include that header file, and then we can use those functions. And how to use it and all, we have also covered. Now I have uploaded all the PPTs in your e-content up to unit number 4, so you can refer it. All the recorded videos are available online. You can refer those videos at any point of time. All the lab sessions are also uploaded, recorded and uploaded. You can refer those lab session videos if you want to. Now further, I don't want to start our next unit today, functions. What we'll do is we will start functions after you complete your first mid-sem exam, because there is going to be 1 week gap, because next week your sessions are suspended because of your mid-sem exams. So next to next week, when we start our lectures, we will start a new unit, functions. But still, what I think is, before we start functions, I want you to come along with me in to learn a topic which is not actually the part of your syllabus right now. Look, when you explore this entire syllabus part here up to unit number 10, there are no searching and sorting techniques listed. Okay, inside this entire syllabus topics, there is no searching and sorting techniques listed here. But when we go for a practical list, okay, and if you look at the 36th program, it says write a program to sort given array, which means we need to learn sorting techniques. We want to sort an array in ascending order, and there are a number of sorting technique names given to you, right? So there is insertion sort, bubble sort, selection sort, merge sort, quick sort, heap sort. Other than these, there are a number of other sorting techniques available, bucket sorts and so on. So what I want to do is, before starting function, let us go through searching and sorting techniques. A little bit of algorithms and techniques let us learn, so that you can also implement this program, 36th program. Now there is no searching part, but I'm also going to show you linear search. So what I think is, let us go for those points first. Let us learn how to search particular number or the value or the element in array, and then we will learn few sorting techniques: insertion sort, bubble sort, and selection sort. So we are going to learn these three, okay? Insertion, bubble, and selection. What I believe is it will be very much crucial and very tough task for you all right now to understand merge and quick sort and even heap sort. Now, what I believe is, right now it is not possible for you all to learn this merge, quick, and heap at this stage. Well, some of you might be intelligent enough to grab all these things, but we will not do this thing right now, merge, quick, and heap. In your next semester, you will be having data structures subject, and in that data structure subject, again, you are going to have these sorting techniques as a unit. And at that time, you are going to learn merge sort and quick sort. Okay. Creating heap is again a tough task. Until you understand what is tree, you will not understand what is heap. Okay. So that's why we are not going through these three techniques right now. I don't know GTU what it thinks and with what understanding university has given these three names here in a practical list. But I believe that is a mistake and will not go through this thing right now. So what I propose is today, let us go through a linear search. There is one more search available also. So we'll go through searching and sorting techniques today. If you talk about searching, then there are two searching techniques available. Okay, linear search and binary search. Linear search and a binary search. Linear search is very much simple, and we will look at that linear search right now. Binary search you will learn in the next semester, data structure subject. Okay. And then when we talk about sorting techniques, there are a number of different ways to sort a given list of numbers or the array, like bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sort, merge sort, quick sort, heap sort, bucket sort, and so on. Dot, dot, dot. So look, what we'll do is we will learn these three right now in your second semester. You are going to learn these 5 up to quick. So bubble, selection, insertion, merge, and quick. This is a part of your syllabus in your third semester. Even you are going to learn heap and bucket and all one more time in your fourth or fifth semester. I don't remember exactly the semester, but design and analysis of algorithm will be the subject where you are going to learn all these sorting algorithms one more time. Now, definitely, it is not a repetitive task. Okay, आप ये बोलोगे कि सर repetitive हमें क्यों सीखना है? Look, at this point of time in second semester, हम जो सीखेंगे वो basic means definitely जो the approach to sort the number is the same. Algorithm है तो जो तरीका है वो तो सेम ही रहेगा, तरीका बदलने वाला नहीं है. But what we do is यहाँ पे हम optimize नहीं करेंगे उसको. We will only learn the approach and उसका एक basic code लिखेंगे. लेकिन थर्ड सेमेस्टर में आप क्या करोगे, आप थोड़ा ज़्यादा उसको ऑप्टिमाइज करने की रीत सीखोगे. And in your fourth and fifth semester or wherever you have DA subject, you are also going to calculate the complexity. You are going to do the complexity analysis of that algorithm. So that's why you are going to face this algorithm multiple times during your journey in the engineering path. But that is not a simple repetitive task. You are going to learn something new and new in the sorting algorithms always. Well, so let's go through a linear search first, which is very basic and a simple searching process. Binary search is something that is you are going to learn in the next semester, and I don't want to make you more confused about searching part right now. So we will see at the linear search in this semester at this place. So we'll go for the first one, searching linear search. Okay. So it's very much simple that you want to search something. And while we go for searching process, we will go for linear path. Linearly, we are going to search our required number. That's why it is called linear search. Now, when you have number of or more than one numbers, let's say, number of elements, then definitely you are going to store those elements in the array. Then we can assume that we have an array already of any size. If you have array, then you'll be having index values for those elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which means you have an array of size 6. If you call it this ARR, then you have gone for integer ARR of 6. This is what you have written in your program so that you can have one array with 6 elements inside, and it can store 6 values of integer type. Continuous memory allocation. Index values are going to be from 0 to 5. Look, in one way, this is going to be the repetition or the revision of array part, right? So एक तरह से आपके मीड के लिए भी practice हो जाएगी. Now let us assume that this array is having values, random values, something like let's say 4, 9, 2, 1, 3, 7. Let us assume that user has given these values to you, and you have stored those values in this array like this way. Now what if we want to search, let's say 3. Well, coincidentally, value 3 is having index 3 also. Let us take another number so that you do not get confused. Let us say we want to search 1. We want to search 1, which is at index 4. Now, by looking at this array, we can simply say that, as a manual process, we can directly say 1 is present at index 4 or position 5. But how computer will know that? Computer need to search it. And in a linear search method, computer is going to start from 0th element, and it will traverse your array linearly. It will go for array of 0th element. Okay. Then it will go for array of 1. Then it will go for array of 2, and so on. So linearly, it is going to pick one by one elements, and it is going to compare that element with the required value. Now, when you are going for a linear approach, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, so definitely you will require a loop here. एक पूरा एरे अगर आप प्रिंट करने जाते हो तो आपको लूप चाहिए. क्यों? क्योंकि आप 1 by 1 एलिमेंट्स एक्सेस करोगे. अब यहाँ पे भी हमें वो सारे एलिमेंट्स को कंपेयर करना है. So what we are going to do here is we are going to write a loop for I equals to 0, I less than your size of the array. At present, I'm directly writing 6. But what you can do is you can define some number, max or capital N, which you use to declare your array, and you use to write all your loops. We have seen that part in, I believe, results program. Okay. And then we'll go for I++. So that what we can have is we can have array of I element. जितनी बार लूप चलेगी उतनी बार आपको एलिमेंट्स मिलते जाएंगे. array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, array of 3, and so on. Now, what is your array of 0? It is 4. Array of 1, it is 9. Array of 2, it is 2, and so on. Now, you are going to compare this with 1 always, because we want to search 1. Okay? We want to search 1. So what we will do is we are going to compare this array of I with the given value. Let's say we have VAL, integer VAL declared, and user has given value 1, and you have stored that value 1 to VAL variable. तो आप क्या करोगे? You are going to compare this array of I with given value. Now, when we want to compare, we have if. When we want to compare, we have if. Now, this is my loop, started and completed. And inside my loop, okay, inside the loop, what we are doing is we are comparing that value, array of I and a value. This is if. अगर आपको ये वैल्यू इक्वल मिल जाती है, राइट, इफ यू फाउंड दिस वैल्यू, तो इट इज वेरी सिंपल, आपको सिर्फ मैसेज दे देना है एट सॉरी it is very simple that what you need to do is you simply have to print a message, printf value found. लेकिन अगर वैल्यू फाउंड यहाँ पे देते हो मैसेज, वैल्यू नॉट फाउंड मैसेज कहाँ पे दोगे? तो वी कैन नॉट गो फॉर एल्स पार्ट हियर, ओके? अगर मैं एल्स लिखूंगा तो कुछ इस तरह से हो जाएगा, इफ एल्स फॉर लूप के अंदर आप जितनी बार कंपेयर करते हो वैल्यू और वैल्यू कंपेयर नहीं होती है, उतनी बार आप एल्स पार्ट एग्जीक्यूट करोगे. अगर एल्स के अंदर आपने लिखा प्रिंट एफ वैल्यू नॉट फाउंड, ठीक है, तो 4 and 1 इज नॉट इक्वल, तो ये एल्स एग्जीक्यूट होके एक बार मैसेज मिलेगा वैल्यू नॉट फाउंड. 9 and 1 नॉट इक्वल, दूसरी बार आपको मैसेज मिलेगा वैल्यू नॉट फाउंड. 2 and 1 नॉट इक्वल, so third time आपको मैसेज मिलेगा वैल्यू नॉट फाउंड because you have written this statement inside your loop. So that's why we cannot write this else part inside for loop. तो इसका मतलब तो ये हो गया कि even I cannot I cannot print this message inside a for loop. ये for loop के अंदर में कोई मैसेज नहीं दे सकता. I must go for printing this message outside a for loop. तो एक बार ये खत्म हो जाने के बाद मैं printf लिख सकता हूँ, printf value found, ठीक है, and printf value not found. लेकिन अगर यहाँ पे आप मैसेज प्रिंट कर रहे हो देन अगेन यू नीड टू हैव सम कंडीशन. कैसे डिसाइड करोगे फाउंड हुआ या नहीं हुआ? anyone has? Yeah, so Nirmal is also writing, already writing, can we have a flag here? Yes, we can have a flag. So what you can do is you can have integer flag, initialize it with 0, and जैसे ही आपको ये वैल्यू मिल जाती है you can set flag to you can set your flag to 1. Now along with that, set your flag to 1 and break your statement, break your loop. क्योंकि अगर एक बार मुझे वैल्यू मिल जाती है, आई फाउंड द फर्स्ट अकरेंस, मुझे आगे उसको ढूंढने जाने की जरूरत नहीं. So what we do is we break our loop here, and at this place we can simply check whether flag is double equals to 1, then we found it, else not found. तो ये तो हो गया simple message, found and not found. Any query at this point of time? Any query till now? We are going to compare all the elements one by one with the required value. जैसे ही मुझे required value मिल जाती है, मैं flag set करके जो सर्चिंग प्रोसेस है उसको ब्रेक कर दूंगा. And then based on the value of flag, I'm going to set a message, send a message, found or not found. Now at this place, not found है तो और कोई जरूरत नहीं, लेकिन अगर value found है, and let us assume that if we found that value, then we also want to print the index value of that element. मुझे उसकी index value चाहिए, या तो फिर मान लो कि उसकी position चाहिए, कौन सी पोजीशन पे वो वैल्यू है. इफ वी डू रिक्वायर that position, then we can also have that position value found at %d, because we want to print that position. और वो पोजीशन आपको कहां से मिलेगी? Can anyone tell me what will be the position of that number? Correct. Manav has replied I. Yes, I is going to be the index value, because based on I we have searched that number. Array of I is equals to value or not. और जब भी वो मिला हमने ब्रेक कर दिया, लूप को ब्रेक कर दिया, तो जो भी वैल्यू I की जो भी वैल्यू थी, that is going to be your index. Okay, so if you simply want to print index here, तो आप यहाँ पे I लिख सकते हो. अगर इंडेक्स चाहिए तो I लिखो, अगर पोजीशन चाहिए तो I+1 लिख दो, because index starts with 0, position starts with 1. तो ये जो डिफरेंस है वो ऐड कर दो यहाँ पे. सो वैल्यू फाउंड एट, और आपको एक पोजीशन वैल्यू मिल जाएगी यहाँ पे. राइट, फाइन. नाउ श्रेया इज आस्किंग, what if we have 2 times value 1 present in the array? So definitely this linear search process is going to give you the first occurrence. अगर आपको सेकंड अकरेंस या थर्ड अकरेंस या कंसेक्यूटिव अकरेंसेस फाइंड करने हैं, देन यू हैव टू अपडेट योर प्रोसेस ऑफ सर्चिंग. आपको ये लूप जो है वो थोड़ी अपडेट करनी होगी. नाउ दिस इज अ बेसिक लीनियर सर्च विच गिव्स यू द फर्स्ट अकरेंस पोजीशन. अगर आपको सेकंड अकरेंस चाहिए तो फिर आप यहाँ पे उसको, ये लूप को ब्रेक नहीं कर सकोगे. Instead of breaking this loop, you have to make a counter, update your counter, कि चलो फर्स्ट अकरेंस मिल गया. जब तक आपको डिजायर्ड अकरेंस नहीं मिलता तब तक आप ये लूप चलाओगे. एंड वंस यू हैव द डिजायर्ड अकरेंस, यू ब्रेक दिस लूप. एंड इफ यू वांट टू गो फॉर फाइंडिंग ऑल द अकरेंसेस, तो ये लूप कभी भी ब्रेक नहीं होगी. इट विल गो फॉर अप टू द एंड I <6. लेकिन हर बार जब भी आपको वो वैल्यू मिलती है, what you will do is you always remember the value of I somewhere. जब भी आपको वैल्यू मिलेगी आप ith प्लेस को कहीं और जगह पे याद रखोगे. सो इंडेक्स 1 पे वैल्यू मिली, इंडेक्स 5 पे वो वैल्यू मिली, इंडेक्स 10 पे वो वैल्यू मिली, एंड सो ऑन. सो 1, 5, 10, you have to remember this thing in a different array. And that array is going to give you the positions of the values found. Right, so that's how you need to update your process. Now this is nothing but a logic you have to think of. आप अगर खुद करते तो क्या करते? Just always try to think. अगर आपको ये प्रोसेस करना है मैनुअली तो आप क्या करोगे? You will take pen and paper और आप एक एक करके वैल्यूज देखते जाओगे. So we are going for comparing those values one by one here. We are going for comparing those values. अगर एक ही अकरेंस चाहिए तो जैसे ही मुझे अकरेंस मिलता है मेरा काम खत्म. सो दैट इज लीनियर सर्च, बेसिक लीनियर सर्च. नाउ अगर किसी ने आपको ये बोल दिया कि इसके अंदर जितने भी अकरेंसेस है वो ढूंढ के लाओ, तो आप यहाँ पे प्रोसेस ब्रेक नहीं करोगे. आपको जैसे ही वो वैल्यू मिलती है आप उसकी इंडेक्स या तो फिर पोजीशन कोई एक पेज पे लिख लोगे. okay, I found that value at position 2. These are the positions. And you'll continue this process. आगे और सर्च करने जाओगे, जैसे ही आपको वो वैल्यू मिलती है, you are going to remember that position, let's say 7. So you are preparing a list separately, आपको कहाँ कहाँ पे वो वैल्यू मिली. So once if you are going to prepare that list manually, तो प्रोग्राम के अंदर भी आपको वो लिस्ट बनाना होगा, and for that you will require array, a separate array. Okay, so that you can try if you want. Any more queries? Now this is the basic code. I earlier I wanted to go through this process and show you. Let's go through. Actually, I have planned to create a program for this. So let us quickly go and create a program for this one. Okay. So what we'll go is we'll go for, yeah. Let me copy this much part. We are going for linear search. Okay. Hash include stdio.h void main, and then we have an array of 5. We have declared I, and then let us quickly go and ask user to enter those 5 numbers. And we require a for loop. So I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. And right now I'm directly scanning those 5 values. So I'm not going for any printf before that. So %d and ampersand arr of I. So we took those values. Now, if we want to print those values one more time, once we get it, so we can say you have entered, and यहाँ पे मैं वो सारी values को print कर दूंगा. printf %d space array of I print कर दिया. And let us have lessons. Now, along with I, what we require is we require flag. Initialize it with 0. So after this one, we are going to write that code for I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. We are going to check a number. So if condition ARR of I, well, before that we need to ask user which value you want to search, right? So let us ask user to enter that value also, search value, and let's say printf, please enter a value to search. And let us scan that value. So simple %d and ampersand val. Now user is going to give that value. So user 5 value देगा, user एक value search करने के लिए भी देगा. Everything is going to be inserted by user. Then we say you have entered these values. Okay, you have given this set of values, and from that we are going to search a given value here. So we'll search for that value val, and if we found it, then we will set our flag to be 1, and we are going to break our loop. So that is the searching process. So after that, we are simply going to check our flag. If our flag is 1, then we can say printf value found at position and %d. अब वो पोजीशन हो जाएगी I+1. अगर आप पोजीशन बोलते हो तो हमें हर बार आपको +1 पे जाना है. अगर आप इंडेक्स बोलते हो तो सिर्फ I प्रिंट कर सकते हो यहाँ पे. So and in the else part, you can simply print a message, value not found, right? So before I print a message, let me have a new line. Okay, slash n is just for a new line. Let me do one more thing. These font ligatures that I have enabled, now onwards I'm teaching only one subject in your divisions, C only. So let me go and disable those font ligatures so that you will not have any confusion. Fine. Yeah. As you can see, it is double equal here. Okay. Less than equals to, double equals to will be displayed properly now. That's it. So yeah, that's all we want to test here. And this is the program for linear search. Let us run this code one time and check it out. So it is asking us to enter 5 numbers first. So let me give 5 numbers very quickly. Randomly मैं कुछ 5 numbers दे दूंगा. 6 मैंने 2 बार दिया है यहाँ पे. Okay. So 63685. And now I'm going to search, let's say 8. So it says you have entered 63685 and 8 जो है हमें position 1, 2, 3 and 4, fourth position पे हमें वो मिल गया. Yes, we found it. Let us run this code one more time and give the same input 63685. So 63865 and yeah, एक number ऊपर नीचे हो गया, चलेगा. Let me search 6 now. So it gives me 6 is found at position 1. So it has searched for the first occurrence. पहली बार जैसे ही उसको वो वैल्यू मिल जाती है, वो फ्लैग को सेट करके ये सर्चिंग प्रोसेस ब्रेक कर देगा. So we have only the first occurrence. Okay. And if we test it, if we test it for some value which is not present, so let's go for 63685, and if I search for 2, then it says value not found. Okay. So it's working properly, and this is what the code. This is the only part of logic that you need to implement. इसके आगे पीछे जो भी है, that is just a supporting code. Value get करने के लिए, print करने के लिए, and the message that you want to print. But the basic part or the base part, the logic is this part, this one. Okay, so that was a linear search. Now the next thing that, okay, Janil Kumar is asking, instead of putting flag, yeah, what do you suggest, Janil? If we put printf statement in the if condition, Janil, I think you have joined this lecture later on, very late, because in the starting point, I have already cleared this point. The starting of this topic, linear search, I've already cleared why we do not put printf and scanf inside if. अगर आपको सिर्फ फाउंड का मैसेज देना है तो आप इफ के मीन्स इनसाइड योर लूप यहाँ पे आप लिख सकते हो, बट इन दैट केस नॉट फाउंड का मैसेज आप नहीं दे पाओगे. अगर आपका प्रोग्राम, if your program is not giving any acknowledgement when value is not found, तो यूजर कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा कि ये प्रोग्राम अभी भी रन कर रहा है, नहीं कर रहा है, क्या हुआ, ये अच्छे से रन हुआ या ना हुआ. सो हमें यूजर को एक्नॉलेजमेंट तो देना ही होगा, whether it is found or not found. अगर आपको नॉट फाउंड का मैसेज देना है तो एनी हाउ यू विल रिक्वायर सम काइंड ऑफ अ फ्लैग, सम काइंड ऑफ अ फ्लैग. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट यू ऑलवेज गो फॉर फ्लैग. ओके, यू कैन गो फॉर अदर थिंग ऑल्सो. अगर आपको ये फ्लैग नहीं लेना है तो आप ये इंडेक्स भी चेक कर सकते हो यहाँ पे. लेट मी शो यू वेरी क्विकली. इफ आई डोंट वांट टू यूज दिस फ्लैग, फाइन. सो तो मैं ये इंडेक्स भी चेक कर सकता हूँ, क्योंकि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, आई स्टार्टेड विद 0, 0 से लेके 5 तक जा रहा हूँ. नॉट 5, लेस देन 5. कहीं पे भी अगर मुझे ये, लेट्स से कहीं पे भी अगर मुझे वो वैल्यू मिलती है, देन आई विल ब्रेक दिस लूप. अगर मैं ये लूप ब्रेक करता हूँ तो आई की वैल्यू 0 से लेके 4 तक रहेगी. आई की वैल्यू 0 से लेके 4 तक रहेगी. सो आई कैन टेस्ट इट हियर. इफ आई is less than equals to 4, then I can print value found at position I. अगर I की वैल्यू 5 हो जाती है तो मेरी ये पूरी लूप खत्म हो गई, and I can say value not found. So this is one more way to go for. अगर आपको flag नहीं लेना है, then you can work around with I. Let me show you. 6 3 6 8 5, and let's give 2. So still it says value not found. And if I go for some example where we search a value, let's say 6 3 6 8 5, and if I search for 8, then it gives me position 4. So still it works. So it depends कि आपको क्या सही लगता है, क्या आसान लगता है. अभी के लिए at this level, second semester, you can go for any of this approach. Okay. Okay, Jenil wants to speak. Yeah, okay, speak then. What do you have here to propose? I think I need to change some settings, or else you can write your point in the chat box here. Okay, got it. Then fine. Let's continue. So this was the linear search. Now it's almost time, and it won't be possible to cover bubble sort in just 10 minutes. But let us understand the basics of sorting process, so that in next lecture we can understand the entire bubble sort method. So next thing that I want to cover is the bubble sort. Okay. And for that, let us go for the base right now. The sorting method is something like, let's say you have 5 values inside your array. We are going for sorting, and we'll start with the first one. Bubble sort. And for that, let us understand few things first. For example, if you do have an array of size 5, 0 to 4 index, and if you have random values inside, so let me go for 1 2 3 4 and 5. So let's say these are the values inside your array. Now when you want to sort this array in the ascending order, then the resulting array must be something like this. Your array should have values in the ascending order. This is what your result should be. So what you are doing is you are actually rearranging all these values. Correct? You are bringing 1 to the first place, no change in the second place, 2. Then you'll bring your 3 in the third place, bring 4 in the fourth place, and bring 5 in the fifth place. So actually you are rearranging these values inside your array. अगर array के अंदर हमें values को rearrange करना है, fine, then there are two different ways of going for it. In place sorting. In place मतलब आप कोई extra variable या extra array नहीं लोगे. जो एरे आपके पास है, जो मेमोरी आपके पास है, विद इन दैट मेमोरी इटसेल्फ यू आर गोइंग टू मेक दोज अरेंजमेंट्स. सो अगर आप 1 को इफ यू ब्रिंग योर वैल्यू 1 टू द फर्स्ट प्लेस, तो फिर यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी जो 3 था उसको क्या करोगे? करेक्ट. 3 को कहीं ना कहीं तो मुझे रखना होगा. अगर मैं 3 को ओवरराइट कर दूंगा देन आई लॉस्ट इट. मैं भूल जाऊंगा कि वहां पे क्या था. सो आई कैन नॉट ओवरराइट दैट 3. तो एक सिंपल प्रोसेस, सिंपल सॉल्यूशन इसका ये मिल सकता है कि हम इन दोनों को स्वैप कर दें फॉर नाउ. अभी के लिए व्हाट वी डू इज वी स्वैप दीज टू वैल्यूज. 1 को 3 की जगह पे लेके आओ, 3 को 1 की जगह पे रख दो टेम्पररीली. तो इस प्रोसेस से 1 उसकी जगह पे पहुंच जाएगा. जो आपको चाहिए वो आपको मिल जाएगा. 1 उसकी जगह पे पहुंच जाएगा. So that is what you do is you go for swap process, swapping. In place अगर आपको sort करना है तो आप swapping process करोगे. Then question comes कि ये swap कब करना है? Now this example was आप क्या कर रहे थे कि आप minimum value 1 को at first place लेके आए, लेकिन 1 कहाँ पे है आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? How do you come to know कि minimum value कौन सी है और उसको मैं first position पे लेके आऊँ? Now that is the selection sort. If you go for this process, then it is selection sort. अगर आपको ये नहीं करना है, आपको minimum value search करने नहीं जाना है, because if you go for that, then the next time you go for the second minimum value, second minimum को search करने जाओगे, third minimum को search करने जाओगे, and so on. अगर आपको ये नहीं करना है, if you don't want to go for selection sort, then you can go for bubble sort, insertion sort also. तो bubble sort क्या बोलता है? It says forget about which one is minimum, which one is maximum. I'll give you a process and you repeatedly do that process. Blindly you simply follow that process. लेकिन अगर ये process आप follow करते हो तो एक value उसकी जगह पे पहुंच ही जाएगी. And what it says is वो ये बोलता है कि आप consecutive दो values को compare करो, 2 and 3. अगर आपको ascending order में आपका result चाहिए, then the first value should be less than second value. And if it is not, तो आप इन दोनों को स्वैप कर दो. 3 and 2 कंपेयर करोगे, 3 and 2 ascending order में नहीं है, so you are going to swap 3 and 2. अब ये स्वैप करने के बाद आप आगे बढ़ जाओगे and you will compare next two elements. So repeatedly you are going to compare two consecutive elements, and when you are done with this process once, एक बार जैसे ही आप ये प्रोसेस खत्म करते हो, लार्जेस्ट वैल्यू लास्ट में पहुंच जाएगी. That will happen. So that's the bubble sort. So consecutive values को compare करते हो, then it is a bubble sort. In next lecture we will see how bubble sort works. We will trace entire process, okay, and we'll try to find out program or the code or the algorithm for bubble sort method. So we'll go for the bubble sort understanding and writing a code for bubble sort method in next lecture. Thank you. Thank you everyone for being part of this session here. Let's conclude this session at this time. So if you do have any query, you may ask, or else you may leave. Thank you. Yeah, Janil is asking how we come to know that whether that process is completed or not. So we will also look at that part once we understand the entire bubble sort method in next lecture. Because your array size is fixed, तो आप ये process array की जितनी size है वहाँ तक करोगे. And how many times you have to repeat this, that is also I'm going to tell you in the next lecture. Okay.